opinion on Harry Maguire? Is it the time for him to leave Manchester United? Is it the time for him after being stripped off of the captaincy over the weekend? Coming out yesterday to start telling us on the Twitter and his account page on social media that he's so disappointed. Oh, Kunle, over to you. What's your view on this? What's your take on this on Harry Maguire?
Yes, Harry Maguire 100% has to leave Manchester United. I mean, him coming out to make that statement was a clear indication, because I mean, number one, the statement was kind of absurd, because it's not today that captains were stripped of. Like, there is a change in captain. It's something that happens, but him coming out to, and that his tweet was actually very lengthy. Now on Twitter, now you can tweet longer once you have a verified account. So it was actually a lengthy post. And what was awkward about it was that him thanking Ole Gunnar Solskjaer for giving him, because it was Ole Gunnar Solskjaer that gave him. He never made any reference to Erik ten Hag. And for me, I think that is a signal that maybe him and Erik ten Hag cannot work together. And secondly, I think it just goes to show, because even after, it was not long after, the club too now released the statement on their website thanking Harry Maguire. It was just awkward, but I think what that signifies is that his time is up, and the truth is he needs to leave, because if there's anybody that still values him, it is Gareth Southgate, right? And if he wants to remain a valuable member of the England team, let's not forget that the Euros are next year. There's still the 2026 World Cup coming up in 3 years' time. So if he wants to remain relevant, he needs to be in a club where he will play. Otherwise, I mean, this coming Premier League season, there could be a defender that improves massively from anywhere, from any club. It could even be, maybe, who knows, from one of the newly promoted clubs. And before you know it, Harry Maguire has lost his place. So I think he needs to move on. But the problem and the question is, who will buy him, and who is willing to pay whatever Manchester United is willing, whatever Manchester United's price is. So it's a little bit complicated, but I think the fact remains that Harry Maguire needs to go.
All right, Margaret, what do you want to say? What do you want to talk about on this Harry Maguire saga? Can I call it saga? But talk to me, Margaret.
Well,
what do you feel about Harry Maguire's situation right now?
Honestly, like Chris said, I feel it is about time for him to leave, because he coming out such kind of at a point after going through those tweets, I was like, why do you have to come out in public and be telling the people who care to listen about you being stripped of the captainship? You were disappointed. Why were you disappointed? In the first place, the fans were actually disappointed that you were given the captain armband in the first place, because you just came into a club. You just came in from Leicester City to Man United, and then the first thing he was given was the captain handband, which actually put pressure on him. And I'm sure that he knows that have been one of the reasons he has not been performing. He didn't perform to 100%, because that captain handband was actually, it was a big pressure on him. Being a captain of captaining a club like Manchester United is not a mere, it's not a child's play.
Yeah.
It's not like you're just going to Leeds United and then you're being given a captain handband. It is very easy there. But coming to United, if you look at the captains that United have had, it is not just come immediately and you're given a captain. There are players that know their leaders, players who knows the in and out of that club, who have followed, who know when it comes to winning. They have winning mentality, leadership qualities, and all of that. Players who are outspoken, who can lead the team, who can speak on behalf of the team, who can inspire the team. And in all of that, I am telling you, I personally have not seen any of those qualities in Harry Maguire. And then he just came in from a Leicester City with a huge amount of money that United bought him, and you gave him a captain handband. I felt Ole didn't actually do him any good. He didn't do him any good. There were players like David De Gea, there were players like Mata on that team. Why didn't you give any of those players the captain handbag and you just give him a guy who just came in from Leicester City, who knows nothing about Manchester United, who in few years ago, or let's say a few years ago, was playing in the Championship, and then he came into the Premier League. You gave him the captain handbag. No, I feel it is actually time for him to leave because he has not really done enough to he has not done it. He has made so many mistakes, so many mistakes. And for a manager like Harry Tenga, who is outspoken, who is a no-nonsense manager, I felt that if he sees what you don't like, it was high time for then if you come, you are not in my plan, you can go. But it shouldn't have come out. You've been disappointed. Why were you disappointed? You've been disappointed. Definitely, there's always a change of captainship. We've seen in other clubs, we've seen in Arsenal, we've seen in Chelsea, there's always a change of captainship. It's not like he is the first player that they have changed, that they decided to take the captain handbag from him. So it's time for him to leave.
All right, it's time for him to leave. I'm going to ask Prof. I want to ask Prof, you know, as a Chelsea fan, what's your take? Prof, I want to see, what do you feel about this situation of Harry Maguire? Is it time for him to leave after being stripped of the captaincy? Prof, talk to me. You're welcome to the show.
Yeah, I mean, good evening, everybody. It's good to be here again. I think for Harry Maguire, you know, when a situation like this happens in a club, I think it just signals the end of his time there, because you being a captain of a ship, and you commanded respect, and you know the leader of these players, you know, it's demeaning to be stripped of the captaincy, and so he has to leave. But the problem about him leaving is, you know, it's obviously the wages. You know, who would want to pay him the amount? I don't know. I'm not sure. I'm not sure how much he collects right now in United.
200,000.
200. Yeah. So I don't think there's any Premier League club at this moment in time who will be willing to give him that amount of money. And even for Man United, I don't think they've made a replacement for him yet, because apart from Varane, Lisandro, and Lindelof, who are the recognized centre backs, you know, they're in the Champions League. I still don't see them. They don't have any more centre back, and they are not in for anyone. They've lost Timber to Arsenal. They were in for him. So I don't know what the plan is in that club at this moment in time. But if Maguire really wants to play, like Kunle said, in the English team, in the England team, he needs to play regularly. I think the trust that Gareth Southgate has on him is bound to wear out. It's bound to wear out, because there are new English players, coming up, who are, you know, staking their claims. We saw the other 21, the likes of Levi Colwill, who are winning. So they will want to step up this season. So he can't continue to get into that team based on his reputation anymore. He needs to play football. And if I were him, I'll just sort of. It's difficult to say. To say to reduce his salary and go to another club is difficult. It's a difficult thing for him to do. I think at the end of the day, the ball rests in his court. He has to choose what's good for him and his family and his future.
Yes, all right. Thank you so much, Prof, for that insightful talk. I'm going to call on. I'm still coming back. I'm still coming back to you. Okay, what do you see about this saga? I want to hear from you. What's your take on this one, on Harry Maguire?
Well, I think Harry Maguire's exit from Manchester United is long overdue, if you ask me. Without due respect to him, for the last 2 seasons, he hasn't been up to standard, and you know, hasn't shown the value of the £80 million that he was bought for. I mean, it's hard for English players to live up to the value which they are bought for, but at the end of the day, the truth is that Harry Maguire was one of the best defenders when he was purchased by Manchester United. So you begin to think, what exactly is the problem? Is it down to the basics or the fundamentals of football, or it's a personal issue which he's going through? I mean, recently, Dele Alli came out to speak about the trauma he had been going through, and then we finally understood why he was having issues on the pitch. Harry Maguire has not come out to say that. To be more specific, Harry Maguire has been picked by England consistently. So it's more about him and his playing style, and probably not being comfortable to play out from the back, even though England do that. But we've also seen him make costly mistakes for England. But he has had more impressive performances for England compared to Manchester United. So you then think about what exactly is the problem. There are many rumors that he is not well respected in the dressing room. There are several clips where you see David De Gea with the ball. I know when they like to play out from the back, David De Gea refuses to pass the ball to Harry Maguire a lot of times. He would rather look for another alternative. So you can see that there's a rift, obviously, among teammates. You can see also that he most likely does not have the confidence anymore. Not most likely, it is obvious that he lacks confidence from Eric Ten Hag. And Ten Hag has been ruthless in his ways so far. See the way he has eased out Cristiano Ronaldo. Now he has done the same with David De Gea and taken the captaincy of Maguire. I think that is a message to Maguire that, look, you are no longer in my good books. There's probably time for you to leave. And with someone like Victor Lindelof, who came back, from injury last season, he got a good number of games and good running. If he's fit, I believe you have the edge over Maguire in the team. However, United will need to sign another top-class centre-back before letting Harry Maguire go.
All right, Kunle, what do you want to add to it before we switch on to the next one? Kunle, you want to say something?
Well, I just wanted to say, I think like Okpe, said earlier, that before Maguire came to Manchester United, he wasn't actually a bad defender. Let's not forget that Manchester City were after this guy, but they were only put off because of high-priced Leicester City. If it were to be a case of that, there was a considerable amount that Leicester were asking for, Harry Maguire would have actually been a Manchester City player, and that, I feel, is the reality. So, I think what it comes is that I think him moving to Manchester United was actually wrong from the very beginning, because Manchester United do not play anything close to City. Manchester United play more of a fast-paced, counter-attacking game where, everyone is practically on their toes. They are under pressure. It is when they are under pressure that their best performances come out. That is not how Manchester City play. They play calculated, they play a calm game, and that is pretty much how England also play. England don't play under the kind of pressure Manchester United plays in. That kind of like chaos. They are composed, they are calm, they are passers, they have good passers of the ball all around. So I feel that is the kind of thing that makes Harry Maguire right. So I think he's just been in the wrong club all this while. That's what I think, really, because it just doesn't suit. He is not that chaos kind of player. You can see Martinez. Martinez is built for that chaos, and that is why everybody is praising him. Eric Bailly is built for that chaos, right? But not Harry Maguire. So it begs the question, why did they go and buy him when he is not somebody who can play that high pressure, soaking? Why did they go and buy him? And why did they give? So for me, I think I will have questions for Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. So I feel it is time for him to go to a place where, they don't play with such high intensity, with the kind of way Manchester United plays, where everything is just here and there. At least in a place where there's a bit of semblance like how it is in England. And trust me, if he goes to such a team, I don't know which team he will now go to. But if he goes to such a team, I think
Can I please ask Kunle a question?
Okay.
Before you
permit me.
Just hold on. I want to before you ask that question, Nubia Prince, I want to ask something from you about what's your take on Harry Maguire, considering the fact that do you think this guy will actually leave, considering the fact that his wages, going to another club is going to be reduced? What's your take on this, Nubia Prince?
Good evening, guys, and the lady. I think people are pretty unfair to Harry Maguire, really. Yes, and I'm going to explain. Really, I think
please do.
He's been under a whole lot of pressure. Now, this guy moved from Leicester City to Manchester United. That was pressure on its own. He moved with a record transfer. That record transfer still subsists till today. Harry Maguire is the world's most expensive centre-back. That's another pressure on its own again. Now, you handed him the captaincy, triple pressure. Captain in Manchester United while you are the most expensive player. So much of pressure. Now it's understandable he made a whole lot of errors. The errors could be from the pressure thing. Now I've heard a lot of people saying, now he's forced to leave because he's been stripped of the captaincy. Who said so? You collected your captaincy from him does not mean he's going to leave. This guy still has 2 or 3 years left on his contract. Now, everybody is saying, okay, the honest truth is, if he's going to leave Manchester United, he will have to take pay cut. I don't think he's going to do it. Players don't like taking pay cut. That's the honest thing.
Yeah.
If Manchester United are desperate to get him off their books, they will either, cancel his contract and pay him lump sum, or shift him to a club and agree to augment his wages. If they're not willing to do that, I see Harry Maguire staying in that club. Now, he might not eventually will get to play.
But he's not going to play. It's
Calm down. He might not play regularly. He might not. Okay. If Lisandro Martinez gets injured and Varane gets injured,
and that's the only.
Will he not play?
He's not going to play. Do you know? Even if you watch last season, he preferred to use Luke Shaw.
Okay, Luke Shaw gets injured. If Luke Shaw gets injured, will he not play?
Lindelof is going to play.
You don't get these players to get injured. You are in 4 competitions.
There are also players in the academy also that are coming up. That would be 1 or 2.
Now, would that not be ridiculous if you go to the academy and you have a player earning £200,000 on your bench? For crying out loud, how ridiculous is that? You are trying to make a statement at the cost of your pocket. It's not making sense.
So because of that, United should continue having
I'm waiting for your
a player that makes mistakes.
I said when Arsenal were tired of Aubameyang, they found a way of getting rid of him. They did not collect transfer fee. They allowed him go to Barcelona for free. Barcelona in turn sold him to Chelsea for 15 million. When Arsenal were tired of Mesut Ozil, they paid him off. So if Man, you are tired of Maguire and his errors, they should pay him off. All this idea of stripping him of the captaincy and saying that will make him go.
Subscribe now.